everybody, it's Kat from Creative Crafts, and today's DIY is going to be working with cardboard boxes, and like I always said, recycle, recycle, recycle. So if you want to know exactly how I'm going to do this and what I'm going to make, go to the next step. So everybody, what you're going to need for this project is, of course, is a piece of paper so you can make a trace of an elephant or draw an elephant yourself. You're going to need cardboard. You're going to need water. You're going to need some kind of an X-Acto knife or one of these razor cutters here. A glue gun. I have plaster of Paris bandages, but you can use, what do you call it? Paper mache method for it, and then you put plaster of Paris over it. You mix the mix yourself, like the powder form, and mix it yourself, and do that here too. I will tell you about that on while I'm talking or while I'm making this video. And warm water, and basically at the moment that's it. You're gonna also need paint. You're gonna need a varnish spray, and scissors, of course, and pencil, and an area that you want to work on. Make sure you cover it. If you want to protect your table, make sure you cover it, as always. And so let's go to the very first step. The first step is making your design, or what you want to do with it. And I decided I'm going to make an elephant. I saw a video online, someone doing it. It's a different way that I'm doing it right now, but they made an elephant and I liked the way it looked, so I decided I'm going to make an elephant. I traced this from a cartoon picture from my laptop. I put a piece of paper on top. Of course, you can see right through it. Took my pencil, drew over it, and then I had my little template. The next step after that is you're going to need your cardboard, of course. You're going to need 7 different sizes of this, of the elephant. Well, not different sizes, 7 pieces. So then, after you do that, you have everything that you need. The plaster of Paris bandages, you can buy them online from Amazon, very easy, they're not very expensive. I cut them up in little pieces like this. I have my water here on the side. And now we can go to the step on building it together. Alright, so what I want to do is, you have 7 pieces here, and what you're going to do now is, you're going to take 4 pieces away and put it aside. And now, this one here, what you want to do is, you're going to cut off the nose of the elephant. You're going to follow the face area and go like this. You'll see why I'm doing that in a minute. And then you want to also cut down the tail area. Make it flat. So, now that you have these 3 pieces and these 4, you take 2 and 2. I'm going to have to cut this excess off. So, 2 and 2. And what you want to do is turn on your glue gun. You're going to need a glue gun. And then you're going to glue all these pieces together, but I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to glue them together. Alright everybody, so I forgot to mention that you're going to need some tape. Or you can glue it together the way you want. The first thing you're going to do is, when the glue gun is hot enough, you're going to stick your 3 middle pieces first. This glue gun I can't stand. So now I'm going to stick these pieces down well. So now I got the little other piece here. Make sure you got it all even. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as you know you got it all matched up pretty well. I wish I could afford a better camera, but this one is not going to work. Keeps shutting off on its own, even though I'm not done. So now what you want to do is you're going to take 2 and 2. You're going to take the two of the pieces on one side. I think maybe you'll know what I'm trying to show you what to do. So now you're going to stick him here, and then you're going to stick another one on this side. Don't worry about the glue hairs, you can fix those later. Make sure you don't burn your fingers when you're working with the hot glue gun. So now that you got this part done, that's my wash machine. Now you're going to take the other 2 pieces and glue them on this side so that you see it like this. Alright? I'll be with that next. Alright, so now I'm going to glue these other pieces on here. Now that goes there. Now there goes my damn glue. So again, if you see this glue gun here, I recommend you not to buy one like this, because I lose a lot more glue than I use because it constantly drips. And I can't afford to get a new glue gun, so yeah, I'll have to stick with this one for now. So now you're going to do this. Stick this on here. And then you're going to do the same on this side too. There it goes. It's dripping again. Go. Now that you got this all together like this, make sure you squeeze it good together. So you can see that it's like this. So it may look a little lopsided right now, but you're going to take your X-Acto knife or you could say rug cutting knife. I always use this one, which is sharper than the X-Acto knife. So, and I'm going to carve this up in a minute. That will be the next step. But this step is now, you want to glue these 2 pieces together. You want to make sure you want to put enough glue on it. And then glue it down and hold it. And try not to burn your fingers at the same time. Like I just did. So I'm going to have to hold this until it cools down so that it sticks better. You can make any kind of elephant that you want. You can have the elephant having his nose upwards. You can have your elephant doing like this. So far, this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't look perfect right now, but this is just the form. I'm I'm just going to cut the tail off because for some reason that doesn't look right like that. So I'm just going to cut it off for now. So that probably looks much better now. So what we're going to do now is get the glue gun out of the way, shut it off. I don't need it right now, so it doesn't waste any glue. See, I got it all over my table now. So there you go. Move everything out of the way. All right, so now I'm going to carve this. The camera may end up shutting it off while I'm doing it. I'm hoping not. But that's just how it is. So what I want to do now is you take your elephant and slanted, make it slanted, cutting it slanted. See, like I'm taught, like it like this, so it goes like this. So now you do that to the whole thing. So get this little excess, little things that I hanging on everywhere. Try to get that off. We did both sides now, just like I said. And what you want to do now is look around to see if there's any uneven areas on the inside. And if you want, you can take your knife and, you know, cut some off if you want. Really, Jackson? Really? Was it so bad outside? No, it's okay. It's the part where I'm pretty much done with everything I wanted to do, so just gotta... So now that you fixed the elephant and took all the extra little pieces of wood hanging off anywhere, the next step is doing the plaster of Paris bandages, which I'm going to do now. What you could do is stick the things in the water, a few of them, and then you can take them out. And then what you do is, because they're wet now, is you do this. You know, you can start anywhere you want, like here. I'm going to start here with the nose of the elephant. And You keep going all around and around until you get this whole thing done. I'm going to try to leave the camera on and we'll see what happens if it goes off. Because I can't really look that high up. So I'm going to take these out of here. You don't want to stick them in there too long. And yeah. And you go like that. Try to make it stay as even as possible. It has plaster on it. That's why they call it plaster of Paris. And it also has string. I don't know exactly what's underneath here. It's some kind of a string. And I'm going to do it this way. Stick it in. Put it over. I'm not going to let it sit in there. And then I'm just going to keep doing this. Once this hardens, it's just like plaster, so it's very hard. So everybody, this is one coat of the plaster of Paris strips. You can see the strips on it, but once you put the second coat on and then you sand down all the hard areas, this will look awesome. I think it already does. It's not going to stand between all those things. But it's damp, so I have to wait till it totally dries up. Then I will put another coat, because if you keep putting coat after coat when it's still wet, it takes longer to dry, and it could that the inside where the paper is will stay moist, and then it will turn into mold because of the moisture. You don't want that. So the first thing you need to do is wait for this first coat to dry and totally harden up. Then you know it's really dry. You can feel if it's dry or not. And once it's dry, then you can do the second coat, and then we will go to the next step. So everybody, I finished doing whatever I had to do, and I used those bandages of the plaster of Paris, and yeah, you could still see the lines of it on here. It made it stronger and a little bit more sturdy. But I do suggest that next time just use plain plaster of Paris. The ones I have here hardens very quickly. So make sure that if you want to do it, work fast with it. So I sand this down. That's the next step, what you want to do. And I still didn't like the way it looks. So what I'm going to do is a quick tip is I'm going to use, you call this, it's a, hole filler for your plaster walls. It's almost like plaster, so it'll work perfect with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip off the tip of this. I don't want to make the hole too big, and then I'm just going to squeeze this on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this popsicle stick, whatever you want to call it, and smooth it out. I'm going to smooth this whole thing out with this filler. And then when I'm done, let it dry, like I said, and then try to sand it down again. But this time don't sand it too much, because you're going to go back down to the part where you are. Put a good amount on it. so you cover all those, you know, indents. So everybody, now I just had finished sanding down whatever I could. It's pretty smooth. I think it looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to make the ears and some designs on the back side, on the sides here with the glue gun before I start painting. So that's the next step. So everybody, I took the liberty ahead of you guys. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can. I made the design for the ear and I made some kind of a little, you know, blanket or whatever. And then I made a little tail on the back end. I'm going to wait for this to cool and take all the strings from the glue away, because the glue gun always ends up leaving some kind of a strings around. So once you get all that done, then we will go to the next step, which is painting it. So now let's wait until this cools and then we'll get to that step. So everybody, now we're going to go to the painting, and I'm going to paint mine copper and gold, but first I'm going to paint the whole thing copper. Pour a little bit of paint here. And you're going to paint this whole thing. You may need more than one coat. Don't be sloppy and don't put too many. Try to put it as an even coat everywhere. So now that I finished painting it, the whole thing once, now I'm going to let it dry and paint it for the second time, and then we'll go to the gold color. I hope you like this video. This is the finished product, well, project. I made a giraffe, and at the end of this video you will see a picture of them both standing next to each other. So I hope you like it, and give the video a thumbs up, please. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you join our family, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.